What is going on, everybody? ZyoniK here, and in today's video we are diving into our first battles in the Great League for the new season. Now, there are so many Pokemon that got updates, Pokemon that got nerfs. It's amazing, and we're going to be trying to use all of them here in the coming week, 2 weeks. And one of the Pokemon, the first one I want you guys to recognize that it is now meta, is Steelix. It is now rank 12 in the Open Great League, and it is higher ranked than Galarian Stunfisk. It is because of the charge move Breaking Swipe. It is incredibly viable on Steelix, pairing it with Earthquake. So let me know what you guys think. Obviously, I want you guys to take these battles with a grain of salt because it is rank 1, right? You guys know how that goes. But ultimately, I think it was a lot of fun, and I'm going to be using Steelix more on a lot of teams. Alright, getting into the first battle, we have Pelipper on the lead versus Druddigon. So, not a good matchup. We're going to go ahead and swap into Registeel, look to get it out on energy, and we do draw out a Swampert. This is perfect. This is ideal, because Registeel as the safe swap is going to be a beautiful bait out for the hardest counters to a Steelix. So we do have the Swampert that comes out. We're going to go ahead and let the charge move go through. It is just a Hydro Cannon. I am not worried about taking Switch right here. I just want this Swampert to unload its energy. That way Pelipper can come in and easily farm down. So we're going to go ahead, bring back in that Pelipper and look to farm down. Now, looking at the team so far with the Druddigon and the Swampert, it wouldn't make sense to have a Medicham in the back because they're way too weak to Charm. It could be a Medicham, but what we're going to do is just give our Steelix 2 shields, and sure enough, it is actually a Venusaur in the back. So with Dragon Tail and Breaking Swipe right here, Steelix is going to be sweeping teams, and this is just the name of the game. If you get rid of the hardest counter to a Steelix, and Registeel can be a great bait out for that, right? You're going to be baiting out all the Swamperts. You're going to be getting out all the Medichams if they are on the back lines of your opponent's team. Steelix then can take over games just because of the bulk, the raw fast move damage, the debuffs that it applies, which then makes it bulkier, and also having that Earthquake for the hard nuke. Now what you guys are going to see is we have massively debuffed this Venusaur, and now we're just going to commit to the farm down because Frenzy Plant is not going to be enough to take us down, so we will farm down. We have 2 Breaking Swipes ready to go, so we're going to go ahead and fire them. This is super effective damage, and Steelix is just grinning ear to ear because now they do get the next charge move here. But what's amazing, again, it's the Breaking Swipe debuff. Steelix now survives this Night Slash with 1 HP and a Dream and gets another Breaking Swipe off. So that is a clean Steelix sweep right there. Absolutely pristine after getting rid of the Swampert. Now the next battle I have a Roselia. So this is kind of how it goes. I absolutely love seeing new trainers come in. These Pokemon aren't fully powered up, as you guys can see. The combat power is at the top. So anyone watching these videos, if this is like you and you don't have a powered up team yet, it is still great to get in there, to get your feet wet, to kind of get an idea of what Pokemon are fun to use, what are good. And for those of you who are like this trainer, bring in the Roselian, the Gyarados, kind of their first time, only thing they got, you guys definitely want to reference pvpoke.com. It is our #1 source for team building and Pokemon rankings, like I mentioned at the beginning. And I know a lot of you watching right now are in this situation where you're a new trainer, you're kind of going, what's going on with the Great League? My friend said that, you know, the updates were insane. pvpoke.com, and it'll give you an idea of some of the best Pokemon to invest in. And what I will say is just because it's not in the top like 10 doesn't mean that it's strong. So a Pokemon at rank 50 is incredibly strong. It all depends on the team dynamic. So that's what I'll say about that. So welcome to Go Battle League, and welcome to Boom City, as Registeel and Pelipper are going to be taking this right here. Don't really need the Steelix, but that is okay. Good game to my opponent. Obviously, my team's lineup, Pelipper and Registeel, has a lot more favorable coverage against my opponent's team. Boom. First boom in season. Good game. But I wanted to show you guys that first game because of the bait out with Swampert, right, and the Steelix hard sweep. All right, we got Togedemaru here. Tough lead. We're going to go ahead and swap into Steelix this time. Look to get ahead on energy. And let's see what they decide to do. They're deciding to stay in and really overload on energy, which is fine. And they bring in an Oranguru. So this is once again kind of a unique rank 1 team. And Oranguru, I believe, has the wrong fast move. And this is something I believe that's Yawn. I think that might be right there. I could be wrong. I haven't seen that animation, but it does look like potentially Yawn. What I also want to say is for new trainers coming in, giving this a try, PvPoke also provides ideal move sets that you should be running because it's a lot of information that's being, thrown at you, right? You got teams, you got Pokemon, you got rankings, you got typings, you got charge moves, you got fast moves, you got multiple options. It's a lot. So what PvPoke helps you do is it really simplifies it down, what moveset you should be doing. On Oranguru, you want Confusion as the fast move, Foul Play, and then you could either go for Psychic or Future Sight. But ultimately, Steelix is just going to take it right here. Boom! Not enough to one-shot right there. Now the Grumpig coming in. You love to see the spice. But we're going to go ahead and shield right here. I think it does have access to Shadow Ball, so I'm just going to shield. That's the hardest hitting move potentially left in the game because Togedemaru only has like Fell Stinger, Wild Charge, and then I believe a Steel type charge move, all of which are heavily resisted here on Steelix. So we're just going to go ahead and just roll with that as they do decide to throw the charge move again. This is probably going to be Wild Charge right here, which is fine. Doesn't do that much damage. And that is going to be a good game, very well played, as we can get to the Earthquake in time. So this is not only, like I said earlier, I want to show that first game so you guys can actually see, okay, Steelix can put in some work. But yeah, this is a great opportunity for new players to kind of get an idea. All right, we got Quagsire here on the lead, so we'll have to see what they decide to bring in. It is going to be Jolteon, so Steelix is going to go ahead and lock that down very quickly. Now, Jolteon, I don't think has a coverage move. I believe it is just going to be like Discharge and Last Resort. So there's the Discharge. We're safe to fully farm down right here, and this just is another opportunity to show you that if Steelix has a hard matchup, specifically against electric type Pokemon without coverage moves, you can basically fully farm down. And now a Quagsire on the back end is facing off against a Steelix with 100 energy, and multiple breaking swipes right here are going to be punching through shields. They're going to be debuffing the attack, and I still have 2 shields myself. So this Steelix could potentially just completely take out the Quagsire, which is what I'm going to look to do as we now are going to go ahead. I believe I decide to let this go through, maybe a shield. Yeah, let it go through. It was just an acid spray actually, so kind of surprised there. But we're gonna go for the Earthquake now. A lot of neutral damage here, and it is stab, same type attack bonus from Steelix, and we can Dragon Tail down and completely take out the Quagsire. And now the final Pokemon is going to be a Breloom, which we can just take out with Dragon Tail and Breaking Swipe. So that is going to be a good game, very well played. There's really not a lot they can do as they do decide to surrender. And again, this isn't, I know this isn't the greatest showcase. I can only show you guys what I saw in my first couple hours of playing, right? But what I want to emphasize to you is that Steelix is in the top 20. It's ranked 12, and it is higher ranked than Galarian Stunfisk because of Breaking Swipe. And you guys want to take a look at its matchups. It's pretty cool. So we're going to be doing more teams with it as time goes on. But now I was hoping to catch the Body Slam there on a Registeel. So I'm actually going to look to shield right here. I am concerned there could be a fighter in the back. I want to keep Pelipper a bit healthy. And with Snorlax as well, fast move that is ideal for you guys to run is going to be Lick as the fast move. So we're just going to go ahead and go for a Weather Ball. We do get a shield right there. We're going to go ahead and go for another one. And my hope is that this is enough to KO so I don't need to swap out. But it is not. So I'm going to go ahead and swap out and get ahead on energy with Registeel because I am reading that there is a fighter in the back and I want to bait it out. But instead they have a Politoed. And so this is actually okay for me. I'm going to go ahead and go for Zap Cannon. Now, Politoed right here, they're fast moving. You can tell the fast moves by the animation. Look at the animation coming from Politoed when we do fast attacks. It is going to be Bubble. So the ideal fast move here for Politoed is going to be Mud Shot. As you guys can see those little bubbles coming out, that's how you see the fast move. Now they decide to swap into Haxorus, but Haxorus is just going to get hit with a Focus Blast right here as it just does so much damage. Boom! See ya, Haxorus. And now we can go for a Zap Cannon to close this game out. With Politoed as well, you're going to want Weather Ball. Again, all of this information can be found on PV Poke. You can, for now, just copy it blind until you gain further insight into what could potentially be better specifically for your team, right? Or for specific metas. So if I'm using Steelix and there's a meta where I don't need as much ground coverage, but I need more ghost coverage, right? I would take Crunch instead of Earthquake, if that makes sense, even though the moveset on the standard Steelix is Breaking Swipe and Earthquake. Good game. All right, we got Arcanine here on the lead. It is going to be a Fire Fang one, so we're going to be heavily resisting. And we do have the Weather Ball spam, but we also need to watch out for Wild Charge. This is what's also good about familiarizing yourself with PV Poke, is understanding the move sets that Pokemon have access to so you can make informed decisions during combat. So I do know Arcanine has Wild Charge. I need to be prepared for that. And this is actually going to be a Charm Clefable, so I have to swap out right away. I don't want to take too much damage there from the on the Pelipper. We're going to go ahead and look to go for Zap Cannon right here right away against the Clefable, as it will one-shot, boom, takes it down. We still have shield advantage, and my hope is to get to another charge move, so we're going to go ahead and let this go. But they do decide to go for Wild Charge, which is going to be enough neutral damage, and they actually can farm us down. So now they are debuffed. Sorry, my ring keeps hitting my desk. But we can come in with the Pelipper right here and look to go for CMP tie with Weather Ball, as I will be shielding the Wild Charge. And then it's just a matter of what that final Pokemon in the back is going to be. But we are in a very healthy position right here to see what it is. And the final Pokemon is going to be a Trevenant. So now you guys get to see what a Steelix versus Trevenant, basically a fresh fight, right? I didn't do a fast move with Pelipper. I swapped right away. What we do here is we shield the first charge move because it is going to be the hardest hitting one, since Breaking Swipe lowers the attack of your opponent. It doesn't matter if they shield, they still get the debuff. It's not like they block the debuff right there. So now we are going to see that Steelix is going to easily survive a Shadow Ball right here, which is perfect. And a Shadow Ball, not enough damage because of Breaking Swipe, and now Breaking Swipe right here plus Dragon Tail damage is going to be enough to just completely take out a Trevenant. And obviously in higher shield, so 2-2 shields, Steelix takes this just as easily, right? It's all about the fast move damage plus the charge move debuff. So that is going to be a good game, very well played. We're going to be rapid firing sets here. I tried a bunch of different Pokemon, so be on the lookout for other team videos over this weekend, over the coming week, as I do dive and try everything out for you guys. Since this is the first video, and if you stuck around till right here, I'll give you a little insight. Steelix, amazing. Gligar, absolutely insane. So good. Worth the Stardust. And I also tried Hitmontop earlier today, which was hit or miss. I think it's kind of gimmicky. It feels gimmicky, but it was cool that it had triple axle. But if I was, well, I was a betting man. I invested in this. Steelix and Gligar are worth your Stardust. Mine is a normal Gligar, not Shadow. I sadly don't have one, with Aerial Ace and Dig. It absolutely slaps. I'm going to have videos later on with that. So hope you guys enjoyed today's video, and like always, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.